Back in the old days, if you wanted a CPU cooler that works and really give you the best bang for the buck, the Cooler Master Hyper 212 was the household name for it. Like seriously, it was so popular that legit 1 out of like, I don't know, 5 people had or knew that a Hyper 212 existed, like it was that good. Fast forward to today, can this, the Hyper 212 ARGB, what a nice name, can it, with its re-release, live up to its expectations of its predecessor? Well, let's find out. Hey guys, this is Chester here. You guys are watching our show at Chester and Unboxing. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Cooler Master Hyper 212 ARGB. In case that rings any bells, this is actually a re-release of their old legendary Hyper 212, which is many years ago. I think more than a decade ago. Yeah, so with the advent of ARGB, meaning bling bling, like you can see, this is their website by the way, and the website is crazy, it's like freaking full of blinks and shit. So with the re-release of everything, let's hope that really this cooler provides that value, you know, the thing that really made the 212 famous. It wasn't about being powerful, you know. It wasn't about being like achieving the super cold temperatures. It was the fact that it was only at this price, but it could deliver so much value. And that brings us to this. This is actually very affordable compared to other tower coolers in the same price bracket. But I'm not expecting this to really perform extremely well, but because of its value, I'm expecting this to perform good to my expectations. Alright, so let's open this up. Okay, it comes in a standard Cooler Master box. Nowadays, I believe ever since 2019 or 2020 or 2019, Cooler Master has really upped their game in terms of packaging. So it no longer comes in that standard white nonsense, like the old school white. Like this is really like, you know, wow, this speaks of volumes, you know, wow, so cool, so atas, you know. Anyway, let's slide this cooler out. I don't want to damage it. Sorry about that. Okay, but because it is part of the Hyper 212 line, so that means that it is not designed to have extreme performance. It is just designed to have a super good value, and that's what is important here. Okay, in a box you'll find a box. Okay, and the cooler itself in a short moment. Okay, you find an accessory box. Okay, and some manual. This is a manual for your mounting instructions. Very important if you have never installed a Cooler Master cooler before. Cooler Master cool. Okay, so do not throw this away. Like I know I always say, you know, like please read and then throw. This is one of those you should not throw. All right. Okay, take a look at the rest of the stuff. You have the silicone and some information and stuff like that. Okay, so what is this? This is a quad heat pipe 120mm cooler. So there's 4 heat pipes, a single 120mm fan. So the fan has been upgraded to a ARGB, so you can see the hologram right there. The fan has 2 connectors, so it's very standard nowadays. So you have your standard 4-pin PWM and the ARGB 3-pin 5V connector. And that's all that it comes with. It has the CDC, they call it, continuous direct something, C for something, copper lah. Talking about copper actually, the heat pipes are made of copper, okay, but the fins and the base is made out of aluminum, so that means that performance will be quite good for this thing. Okay, and here's something that I really don't like, because it is designed to be affordable, right? It actually doesn't come with a second pair of clip in case you want to fit a second fan. So if you actually buy this cooler, you're stuck using one fan. So that means at any point of time, you can only like take out and put like one fan at a time. Okay, so a bit sian for that lah. Talking about the fan, so this fan runs from 650 to 1800 RPM. So it delivers up to 62 CFM and up to 27 decibels. So 27 decibels is okay. It's not say super loud, but it's okay. Alright, up to 2.5mm H2O of air pressure, static pressure. So it's not really very useful for that because this is an air cooler, right? It's not a liquid cooler. Moving on to the accessories, we have a, I believe this is a converter for this particular thing. So this particular small box, right, is actually the ARGB controller. So in case that your motherboard doesn't come with the ARGB header, right, you can actually connect this to this, which in turn connects this to this SATA power. So it draws power from a SATA connector. Then you can control the lightings from here. You can just press one button. Alright. Okay, moving to the rest of the accessories, we have a very standard fare. You have the back plate that is being put on the back of the motherboard, right? And this is two of them are for Intel, the other two is for AMD. So as I said, check your manual as to what is what. Talking about Intel AMD, right, this cooler supports your standard LGA 1150X, 1150Y, 1155 standard Intel stuffs. But AMD, right, quite curiously enough, it only supports officially the AM4 socket, which is the latest one. I'm not sure about whether the AM3 or before, but do check with Cooler Master if they do support specifically for that. One thing that pisses me off because of budget, right, is this thing here. This is the Wasabi pack. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually the thermal compound. Yeah, in like a freaking Wasabi standard and two screws. Yeah, so I would expect them to actually even give like a syringe at minimum, but I mean, you have to drive the cost down somehow, right? You actually have to check the dimensions. So very important in case some of your cases don't support because of its physical size. So in terms of the length, it is about 12 cm. Breadth, the cooler only, it is about 5 cm. Okay, but with the fan attached, it is about 8. And most importantly, the height. Okay, so the height of the cooler, it is 14.9 cm, so it's a 149 millimeters. 149 is okay because most of the mid-tower cases, their maximum height they can accommodate is about 160, so 149 is okay. But one thing to take note is actually the RAM clearance, so that's the height between the board and the fan, because some coolers are actually big. So for this particular one, maximum height for your RAM is 40 millimeters, 4 cm. So just make sure that your RAM actually is not too tall, otherwise this cooler will not be able to fit, or you have to adjust the fan to be up a bit. Okay, so that's actually the end of our unboxing and first look at the Cooler Master Hyper 212 ARGB. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. I'm Chester, that's all for today. See you guys.